You ever walk into a room and feel something's off before a word is even spoken? That's energy. That's the language behind the words. And when she's about to cheat, her energy shifts, but her words, they stay the same. You'll hear "I love you," and "I miss you," and "I'm just tired." But her vibe tells another story, and let me tell you something, brother. If you're not tuned into that shift, you'll be the last to know you were replaced before it even happened. See, a woman doesn't always walk away with her feet. Sometimes she leaves with her attention, her affection, her heart. And the moment that emotional GPS starts rerouting, it don't matter what her lips are saying, her spirit's already packed a bag. You'll notice it in the way she hugs you. Used to be tight, used to linger, now it's light, quick, like she's got somewhere else to be or someone else on her mind. Her eyes used to shine when she looked at you. Now they dart, now they dim. You ask her how her day was, she says fine, but that fine don't have the joy it used to carry. That's the beginning of distance that don't show up on a map, only in a man's gut. But here's the real problem. Most men don't want to believe what they feel. We cling to comfort, we hold on to routine, we think maybe she's just stressed, maybe I'm overthinking. No, King. You're not overthinking, you're overlooking. And there's a big difference. That coldness you feel, that sudden shift in her mood, that's not random, that's intentional. She may not even realize she's doing it, but trust me, when a woman's heart is leaning out the door, her energy tells the truth her mouth refuses to say. Now, sometimes she'll overcompensate. That's guilt. She knows she's entertaining something, maybe not full-on cheating yet, but her mind is dancing around it. So she brings you coffee, kisses you more, says babe a lot, posts pictures with you to show the world you're still hers. But it's not love she's giving, it's coverage, it's disguise. She's trying to quiet the voice in her head telling her this ain't right. But deep down, even she knows it's temporary, because when something's real, you don't have to force it. And when something's fake, no matter how pretty it looks, it breaks under pressure. You want to know the scariest part. It happens in stages. First, she stops talking about her dreams with you, then she stops asking about yours. You'll sit on the same couch, but feel like you're miles apart. Your hand will reach for her, but her fingers don't curl back. She says she's tired. She says she's thinking, but really she's drifting. And the moment she starts imagining life with someone else, she's already halfway gone. I've seen men cry in silence because they knew something was wrong, but couldn't prove it. They felt her slipping, but held on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, she'd come back. Let me tell you something hard but necessary. ***, love doesn't leave you confused. ***. If she truly loves you, you won't have to decode her. You won't need to question every smile, every message, every late night I was just out with friends. Because when a woman is locked in, you feel it. She doesn't just say, I got you. She shows up for you in ways no one else can. But when her heart starts entertaining another man, emotionally or physically, her loyalty fades even if her lips still say, I'm yours. You'll feel the difference. Your soul will know, so don't ignore that shift. Don't let her sweet words drown out her distant actions. Don't be blinded by history and miss the signs in the present. Just because she was your ride-ord, I once doesn't mean she's still holding the wheel today. And I get it, nobody wants to believe the person they love could betray them, but pain doesn't wait for permission. And if you keep pretending everything's fine while her energy keeps pulling away, you're just walking deeper into heartbreak with your eyes wide shut. Wake up before the damage becomes permanent, ask the real questions, pay attention to the way she talks, the way she touches, the way she chooses or refuses to connect. Because when she's about to cheat, it's not always about what she says. It's what she stops saying. It's not just about where she goes, it's what she's no longer bringing home. Love has a tone, it has a feel. And when that frequency changes, you don't need proof, you need peace, the kind of peace that comes from trusting what your soul already knows. She starts creating distance physically and emotionally, and you don't even notice it at first. It begins subtle, like a missed call here, a delayed reply there. But it grows, it builds, and before you know it, the woman who used to be your daily peace becomes your biggest question mark. See, when a woman is about to cheat, she don't just wake up one day and betray you, no. She slowly starts pulling away from everything that kept you close. Your conversations shrink, her patience thins, and her presence. It becomes a ghost of what it once was. You used to laugh together, talk late into the night, sit close even when words weren't spoken. Now, there's silence. Not the comfortable kind, the kind that screams, the kind that makes the walls feel colder. And when you ask her what's wrong, she gives you the most dangerous response in a relationship. I'm fine. Brother, I'm fine. Is never fine when it's said without eye contact and delivered like a closing door. That's not peace, that's detachment. That's her building emotional walls to protect the connection she's creating with someone else. She becomes busy out of nowhere. She has errands, work, friends, self. Care everything but time for you. She used to run to you with her problems. Now she gives you headlines, not the full story. You become the last to know, while someone else out there is becoming her first to call. And that's the thing, cheating starts in the heart before it ever reaches the body. The moment she starts confiding in another man about things she used to share with you, she's already betraying the bond. And I'm not saying every shift in attention is cheating, but I'm saying real love doesn't just drift without cause. A woman doesn't suddenly forget how to love unless her heart is being held by another. She might still show up for the duties, cooking, texting, being polite, but the intimacy is gone. She's present, but she's not there. That's when you realize her body might be yours, but her emotions are on lease to someone else. And here's where it hurts most. You start trying harder. You bring flowers, plan dates, check in more, hoping you can pull her back. But love isn't pulled, it's chosen, every day. And if she's choosing distance, then your effort won't fix what her heart has already given up on. She doesn't want closeness anymore, because closeness means accountability, and you can't be accountable to a man when you're emotionally invested in another. Watch how she touches you. It's mechanical now. She used to run her hands through your hair, kiss your forehead, hug you like she never wanted to let go. Now it's duty, now it's routine. When love fades, affection becomes a script, not a feeling, and when you confront her, she might say you're overreacting. But deep down, she knows that distance isn't an accident. It's a path she's walking, one step at a time, away from you. You might notice her guarding her phone more, keeping conversations vague, smiling at texts she won't explain. And you tell yourself, don't be insecure, but let me tell you something, there's a difference between insecurity and instinct. Your gut knows when something's wrong. Your spirit knows when it's being disconnected from. That's not paranoia, that's perception. Don't let her gaslight you into silence when your soul is screaming. But here's what separates the men who suffer in silence from the ones who stand in truth: courage. The courage to ask the real questions, to say, I feel the distance and I won't ignore it. To demand clarity, not just comfort. Because when you avoid the truth to keep the peace, you create a war inside yourself. And that war will eat you alive. Sometimes you'll see her making plans that don't include you. She starts dressing different, not for herself, but for new eyes. Her playlists change, her moods shift. She's smiling more, but not around you. That's because she's finding joy somewhere else, and brother, if you're not the reason she's glowing, then someone else is. And if you don't confront it, you'll become a spectator in your own relationship, watching it crumble while pretending everything's okay. Don't wait for proof in the form of a message or a photo or a confession. The proof is already in the way she walks past you like a stranger. In the way she talks like your presence is an interruption. In the way she no longer dreams out loud. Love doesn't vanish without leaving evidence. You just have to stop denying what you already feel, and I know it's hard. I know it hurts, but a woman who truly wants you doesn't make you question whether she does. She makes you feel safe, seen, chosen. Every day, but when she's about to cheat, that assurance turns into avoidance. That closeness turns into coldness. And if you don't call it out, you'll be left holding on to memories while she's building moments with someone else. She starts comparing you not in the open, not always direct, but in little calculated ways that hit deeper than you'd like to admit. And when a woman is about to cheat, that comparison isn't just casual talk, it's a mental replacement happening in real time. You see, she doesn't start with a betrayal, she starts with a fantasy, a scenario where someone else gets her, understands her, treats her better. And that thought, once it takes root, grows into discontent with everything you do, no matter how hard you're trying. You'll notice it when she starts sentences with, "You know what I like about so," and "so," or he actually listens when people talk. At first, it sounds harmless, maybe even helpful. But slowly, it's not about fixing you. It's about finding fault in you so she can justify looking elsewhere. That's the emotional groundwork of cheating. That's her rewriting the story in her head so that when she steps out, it doesn't feel like betrayal, it feels like evolution. Growth, freedom, but let me break it down even more. Real love doesn't look for comparison. Real love builds. It doesn't tear you down to lift someone else up. So when she starts drawing lines between you and another man, even if she says, "He's just a friend," or "I just like his mindset," or "brother," she's already entertaining the idea of someone else being a better version of what she used to love in you. And that's dangerous territory. She might compare how he talks to how you talk. He's so expressive, you're too quiet, and now mind you, she used to love your calm energy. She used to say she felt safe with your silence, but now, that same trait has become your flaw. Why? Because she's using his behavior to make you feel less. And once a woman starts stacking the scales like that, it's no longer about love, it's about leverage. She's weighing her options. Don't think it's just words either. She starts reacting differently. Maybe you offer her advice and she shrugs it off. But let another man say the same thing, and suddenly it's deep, wise, exactly what I needed to hear. That's a shift. A cold, quiet shift. She's not just listening to him. She's believing him. She's trusting him with thoughts and emotions that used to belong to you. And the minute that trust transfers, the heart follows close behind. What's worse is how she'll make you feel like you're the one falling short. Like your love is no longer enough. You'll start questioning yourself, wondering if maybe you should change, be more like him. And that's when you lose the most, not her, but yourself, because a man who bends too far to match another man's shadow ends up forgetting the light he brought in the first place. Now, maybe the other guy isn't even real. Maybe it's an image, someone online, a coworker, a celebrity, an ex. But the point is, she's placing someone else in a position that used to be sacred, yours, that mental infidelity. It's just as deep as the physical. It rewires her expectations and rewrites your connection. You're not just dealing with a relationship problem. You're competing with a version of someone you'll never be, because it's based on illusion. And here's the hard truth. If she's comparing you, she's not committed to understanding you. If her focus is outside the relationship is already outside her focus. And that's when the cheating spirit begins, not with a kiss, not with a touch, but with a thought. A what if? A he might. And once she starts living in that space, she stops showing up fully where she is. A woman who's about to cheat starts telling herself stories to quiet her guilt. He doesn't see me. I've outgrown this. He's changed. And those stories make the next step easier. Because now in her mind it's not betrayal, it's escape. It's not cheating, it's liberation. And if you don't confront it, if you don't bring that comparison out into the open and say, who are you really talking about when you're talking to me like that? You'll watch her drift away, and you'll blame yourself for not being what she never told you she was chasing. So don't be afraid to call it out. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, I'm not in competition with another man for the love I've already earned. Either she's with you or she's not. Either she respects the love you've built, or she's tearing it down to build fantasies elsewhere. Because the moment she starts comparing, she's not asking you to improve, she's asking you to step aside. And a real man knows when love turns into evaluation. He's not in a relationship anymore, he's in a trial. And trials are meant to end with a verdict. She overcorrects or overreacts, and when she does, most men miss the meaning behind it. But let me tell you something, brother. When a woman is about to cheat, her behavior stops making sense on the surface because she's battling guilt on the inside. One minute she's being extra sweet, almost too perfect, bringing you your favorite food, texting, I love you, out of nowhere, planning little surprises like she just fell in love all over again. But don't get too comfortable, because sometimes that sudden sweetness isn't love, it's guilt wrapped in affection. See, guilt has a way of making people act out of character. When she starts doing things she never cared to do before, being overly attentive, giving compliments more than usual, getting extra physical, it's not always about passion. It might be her trying to silence that little voice inside her saying, you're crossing a line. She's not just being kind, she's overcompensating. She's not pouring from love, she's pouring from shame. That's why you feel it, but it doesn't feel real asterisk. Then comes the flip side, the overreaction. She starts picking fights out of nowhere, gets mad at things that didn't bother her a month ago. Snaps over small comments, and here's the twist. She's not mad at you asterisk, she's mad at herself. But in her mind, if she can make you asterisk look like the problem, it becomes easier to justify what she's doing or what she's about to do. That's what guilt does. It turns accountability into conflict. She's looking for a reason to detach, so she creates emotional chaos. She wants space without asking for it, so she provokes. She wants to feel right while doing wrong, so she shifts the blame. And if you're not paying attention, you'll spend all your energy trying to fix what you didn't break, apologizing for things you didn't cause, and explaining yourself in situations where the truth is she already made up her mind to drift. She may accuse you asterisk of being distant, of not being supportive, of forgetting how to love her right, but ask yourself what changed, what's different about you. Most of the time, nothing. You're still you, you're still showing up. The difference is, asterisk, she's already emotionally attached somewhere else, asterisk, and now she's rewriting the story to match her actions. She's preparing an excuse, not a reason. Overcorrection shows up in sudden perfection. She'll start doing things she never used to care about. Maybe she suddenly starts dressing up more, but not for you. Maybe she becomes overly affectionate, but it doesn't feel personal. It feels rehearsed. She wants to feel like she's still a good person. She wants to believe she's still loyal, even though her heart is entertaining betrayal. And that's the trap. That's the contradiction you fall into, thinking she's being extra loving. Things must be getting better. No, King. Sometimes when it gets too good out of nowhere, that's when it's getting the most dangerous. Cheating is rarely impulsive. It's planned, even if it's emotional at first. It's still a build-up, and the overcorrection and overreaction are just signs of the internal war she's fighting. One part of her wants to stay, the other part already left, and the tension between those two selves shows up in how she treats you, either too good or too bad. Too kind or too cold, there's no middle ground, because balance lives where peace exists, and when peace is gone, behavior swings. It's a pattern, not a coincidence. Sudden sweetness, she's soothing her guilt. Sudden conflict, she's avoiding accountability. She knows she's no longer present with you. She knows she's slipping, and instead of owning it, she performs. She performs loyalty. She performs love, and when the act gets tiring, she lashes out. So how do you respond? Not with desperation, not with begging. You respond with awareness. You look past the surface and listen to the shift in tone. The change in rhythm. Love has a rhythm, man, you can feel it when it's real, and when the beat skips, when it's off, when you can't dance to it like you used to. Trust that instinct. Don't let the sudden sweetness fool you. Don't let the sharp arguments distract you. Both can be smoke from the same fire, a fire that's burning the bridge between you and her slowly and silently. And by the time you feel the full heat, she's already crossed to the other side. So pay attention to the patterns, not just the moments. Watch how she loves, not just asterisk if asterisk she loves. Because when she overcorrects or overreacts, she's not communicating. She's covering, she's hiding the truth behind emotion and hoping you don't look deep enough to see it. But you do see it, you feel it, so don't ignore it. Trust the shift. It's speaking the truth she's afraid to say.